The rain hadn't stopped since morning. It wasn't the soft kind that calmed the city, but the sharp, unrelenting downpour that made even the busiest streets look abandoned. You stood outside the tall glass building with an umbrella that did nothing against the storm. Your shoes were soaked, your blouse clung to your skin, and still you hesitated at the entrance. Your reflection in the glass doors mocked you. The last place you thought you would return to was his world. Yet here you were, clutching the offer letter with trembling fingers. Secretary to the CEO, John Jungkook. You could have refused, should have refused, but life had cornered you. The company's prestige meant survival, stability, and a chance to mend your shattered career. Except it wasn't just a company, it was his company, and you knew exactly what he was doing when he signed your appointment. Inside, the air smelled of polished wood and ambition. People bustled in tailored suits, their heels clicking against marble floors, unaware that for you, this wasn't a promotion, it was a sentence. You finally gathered your courage and knocked on the door before entering inside his office. He was already there, standing behind his desk, dark eyes fixed on you, John Jungkook. The man you once knew as warmth and laughter now looked carved from ice. His expression didn't flicker, not even when your eyes met. Fascinating. A whole 60 seconds later. I should applaud you for making a statement on your very first day. Your throat tightened. It's only a minute. His eyes snapped to yours then, dark and unreadable, and the sharp curve of his mouth made your pulse trip. Only a minute. He repeated slowly as if tasting the words. That's what people say right before they miss flights, lose deals, or get replaced. He leaned back in his chair, crossing one leg over the other with deliberate ease. But please, by all means, keep testing how generous my definition of punctuality is. You swallowed hard, heat rising in your chest. He was enjoying this, or maybe it was his way of humiliating you now that he finally got his chance. I understand. You said quickly, bowing your head. Do you? His voice dropped, silk over steel. Good. Then understand this too. You work for me now. Which means my time is your time, and unlike you, I don't waste mine. Yes, sir. You whispered, your throat tight. His coldness hit you like ice. Every syllable was precise, measured, like he was punishing you without even raising his voice. He didn't notice the way your hands shook as you clutched your bag. Or maybe he did, and that was the worst part. You weren't sure if the stiffness in his posture was indifference or if he was holding back the part of him that still cared. You'll have your first task by noon. Make it quick, make it perfect, and don't make me regret hiring you. Of course, you said, heart hammering. I won't. Good. He cut you off with a small, almost imperceptible nod. Then he returned to his papers, eyes flicking across the report in front of him as if you weren't even there. Jungkook's POV. Watching her step into my office, I felt something I couldn't name. Anger, pain, maybe both. She had the nerve to come back, expecting what? Forgiveness? Understanding? No, not yet. I had to be cold. I had to make her feel the weight of leaving me, of breaking what we had. But every time she flinched, every time her hands trembled, I wanted to reach across the desk and steady them, to tell her it wasn't all over, that I still cared. But I couldn't, not now. She needed to understand the consequences, and I needed to protect myself even from her. Realizing that you were still standing in his office, he gestured toward the desk outside his office. That's yours. From this moment on, you'll handle all my schedules, communications, and reports. If I work late, you work late. If I don't sleep, you don't sleep. Understood? You swallowed hard. Yes, sir. Good. He leaned back, narrowing his eyes slightly. Don't think for a second I'll go easy on you just because of History. If anything, I'll expect more. You clenched your fist. I never asked for favors. Perfect. His gaze lingered on you, cold, unreadable. Then you won't get any. By noon, your desk was already buried. He walked past you a few times, each time dropping another file or shooting another email. Update this, check those figures, schedule a call. He never raised his voice, never insulted you, but the calm way he demanded the impossible felt like punishment, like hatred. When the office emptied out after 6, you thought maybe you could slip away. Where do you think you are going? His voice stopped you in your tracks. Uh, the day is over, sir, you said carefully. I decide when it's over. He didn't even glance up from his laptop. Sit, we are not done. Your throat went dry. Yes, sir. He kept you until 9, 10, 11, assigning task after task, each one urgent, each one impossible, but not quiet. You told yourself it was hatred, that he was trying to break you. At midnight, you pushed another finished report across his desk with trembling hands. Here. He took it without looking at you. Leave it. You turned to go only to find a cup of coffee on your desk, still warm. You hadn't made it. You hadn't left your desk in hours. You frowned. He was at his desk, eyes fixed on his screen, unmoved, cold, but the coffee was how you liked it. Exactly. You didn't thank him. He didn't look at you. The air between you was thick with the same unspoken thing that had always been there. You told yourself it was hatred. He told himself it was discipline. Neither of you admitted the truth. The first week was a silent war. He didn't scold you, didn't humiliate you in front of others. That would have been too easy, too kind. Instead, he buried you under responsibilities, files stacked higher than your courage, reports due before you would even left his office, emails that needed his signature at midnight. The cruelest part, he didn't make it look like cruelty. Every request came with that calm, detached voice. Stay until I finish. Redo this section. Wait, I'll need you again in an hour. You would glance at the clock, your vision blurring from exhaustion, and realize it was past midnight. The rest of the office had gone home hours ago, but you were still there, trapped in the golden cage of his office, your body aching, your mind screaming for rest. It was well past midnight when you finally leaned back in your chair, exhausted. Your eyes were heavy, your body begging for rest. Still awake, his voice startled you. He was standing by the window, hands in his pockets, the city lights allowing his frame. You straightened. You told me to wait. I did. He turned, gaze flicking over your tired figure. You could have refused. You bit down on your lip. You know I can't. Something unreadable flashed in his eyes, anger, pain, relief. Exactly. He walked past you, slow and deliberate, before stopping just close enough for you to feel his presence. His calling hit you, familiar and maddening. Get used to it. As long as you are here, you'll stay when I say stay. Leave when I say leave. Saying that, he disappeared into his office. You sighed and started working again. You knew he was somewhere using this as an excuse to make you pay for what happened 2 years ago. But you stayed silent because you don't have a choice. You can't leave this job. The office was empty. Only the hum of the AC and the tapping of your keyboard filled the air. Another stack of reports landed on your desk. You flinched. Pages 15 to 20. Highlight inconsistencies in the last quarter. He said, voice flat. He didn't even look at you. You rubbed your eyes. It's really late. Can't this wait until morning? He finally glanced up, eyes sharp. No. I mean, you started then swallowed. Okay, I'll do it. Good. His tone was clipped like a blade cutting off any discussion. You muttered under your breath, I know why you are doing this. He froze, eyes on you, unreadable. What did you just say? You blinked, God. Nothing. Don't mutter under your breath in my office. Speak up or stay silent. Silent, you said quickly, biting back a groan. Minutes passed. You were halfway through when he slid another folder toward you. Review these contracts, urgent. You groaned audibly. You keep giving me work non-stop. Am I stopping you from working? He shot back, eyes narrowing. I'm just saying, stop talking, work. Your shoulders slumped. He didn't say anything for a long while, just watched you. Your pen scratched the paper, your hands shook slightly from fatigue. He didn't move, didn't speak. He wanted to see you stay, see you exhausted, but he also wanted to make sure you were okay. He wouldn't admit it. Half an hour later, your back stiff, your arms cold, you rubbed your shoulders. It's freezing in here. He was watching you through the glass doors of his office. Then, without a word, a jacket landed over your chair. You froze. You were shivering. His voice was still flat, commanding, but there was something, a hesitation just enough for your chest to twist. Keep working. Fine. You muttered, pulling the jacket closer. Another hour passed. You were delirious from numbers and spreadsheets. Are you ever going to sleep? I don't sleep. Haven't slept in 2 years. He said simply, tone flat, but you realized what he meant. Right. You murmured, returning to your work. He didn't speak again, but every time you fumbled a number, he glanced up just for a fraction of a second, sharp, calculating, and in that glance he was watching you, protecting you in the only way he could, by staying cold, by keeping you close. You didn't know it, you only knew you hated him a little for it. By the third week, whispers had filled every corner of the building. They didn't even try to lower their voices anymore. She must be special to the CEO. Why else would he keep her so close? No, look at her. She's exhausted. He's using her. Maybe she did something to him. He stays with her late at night. Each murmur clung to you like smoke, and though you kept your head down, pretending you hadn't heard, their words burned holes in your skin. You could have defended yourself. You could have said, no, he doesn't care. This is punishment, not privilege. But you stayed silent because the truth was far worse. That night, the office was nearly empty. Only the glow of Jungkook's desk lamp and the steady clacking of your own keyboard filled the space. Your fingers trembled from the weight of the reports he had given you. Your eyes stung from staring at the screen for hours. When you finally stretched your neck, you caught it, his gaze. He wasn't pretending to work, he wasn't even hiding it. He was staring straight at you. You froze. What? You whispered, the words leaving your lips before you could stop it. His expression didn't shift, calm, impassive. You typed loudly. He said, you blinked. Excuse me? You heard me. He leaned back in his chair, eyes glinting under the warm light. For someone who claims to be efficient, you are surprisingly distracting. Your throat tightened. I didn't realize my existence was that unbearable. For the briefest second, something flickered in his eyes, pain, sharp and raw, but it vanished as quickly as it came, replaced with that familiar mask. Unbearable. His voice dipped lower. Don't flatter yourself. You swallowed, trying to steady your voice. Then why? Why keep me here? Late nights, endless work. What do you gain from this? His jaw clenched and he looked away, pretending to scan a document. I don't need to explain my decisions to my secretary. But I'm not just your secretary, am I? The words slipped out before you could stop them. His pen stilled, his shoulders went rigid. When he finally lifted his gaze, it was like standing in the center of a storm. You are exactly what I make you, nothing more. Your lips parted, but no words came. You wanted to scream at him, to demand answers, to ask why he was doing this when you both knew there was history between you, but his eyes held you there, nailed you in place, and the silence strangled you. Hours later, long past midnight, he noticed your exhausted frame. He knew you won't take it anymore, so he dismissed you with a clipped tone. Go home, you'll ruin tomorrow's efficiency if you collapse here. You gathered your things in silence. Just as you reached the door, his voice came again, lower. You still cry when you are tired. Your breath caught in your chest. You turned, but his gaze was already on the papers in front of him, cold and unreadable again. I wouldn't know. You whispered, your throat tight. I stopped letting myself cry years ago. But when you got home, you broke. The moment your shoes hit the floor, your knees gave out. You pressed your face into your hands, the tears flooding out in violent waves. Your chest ached with every sob because you had seen it just for a fleeting moment. The way he looked at you, not angry, not cruel, just hurt. So hurt it made your bones shake. You curled into yourself, whispering into the darkness. I'm sorry, Jungkook, I'm so sorry. But the next morning you still went back because leaving wasn't an option anymore. The office was silent once you left, too silent. Jungkook leaned back in his chair, staring at the empty desk across from his. Your water glass was still there, a faint smudge on the rim where your lips had been. He hated how his eyes lingered on it. He ran a hand through his hair, exhaling sharply. 60 seconds, a minute late. And I noticed. 3 weeks in, and I still notice everything. He told himself he was keeping you here to remind you of what you had done, to make sure you felt the same exhaustion he had carried for years. But when he closed his eyes, all he saw was your face tilted toward him, tired and stubborn, and that familiar crack in your voice when you asked why keep me here. His chest tightened. You still cry when you are tired. He had asked, the words slipping out before he could stop them. Foolish, reckless, weak. Now alone he whispered what he could never say to you. I keep you here because I don't know how to let you go. He pressed his hands against his face, forcing the ache down. By morning he would be the cold CEO again. He had to be because loving you had already cost him everything once. It was past 2 a.m. You were working inside his office. The city outside was asleep, but his office lights still burned. You were sorting through another pile of documents when your hands finally gave out, dropping papers across the floor. I can't do this anymore. Jungkook looked up from his desk, then quit. Your head snapped up, your tears brimming. You know I can't. He leaned back in his chair, studying you with that same unbearable calm. Then don't complain. The silence that followed was suffocating. Your hands trembled as you picked up the papers, but your vision blurred until the words were nothing but smudges of ink. Finally you stood, your chest heaving. Why are you doing this, Jungkook? Why make my life miserable? Haven't you done enough? How much you'll make me regret? For the first time in weeks he laughed. It wasn't mocking, it was broken, bitter. His eyes burned as he rose from his seat. You think I'm making your life miserable? His voice cracked, low but sharp. You have no idea what misery is until you have felt your heart ripped out by the only person you thought would protect it. You froze. His words pierced straight through the walls you had built, leaving you breathless. The confrontation you dreaded came at last. He stood inches away, his voice trembling despite the steel in it. I never cheated, I never lied, I never hurt you. All I ever did was love you. Was that too much to ask from you? A future with me? You said you loved me too, but maybe it was just a performance. Maybe you pretended. His words crushed you. Every syllable was an echo of the nights you had spent alone, crying, forcing yourself to believe walking away had been the right choice. You finally broke. No, you shouted, your tears spilling. Don't you dare think I pretended. I loved you, Jungkook. God, I loved you more than anything. Then why? His voice cracked, his mask finally shattering. Why did you break me like that? What did I do wrong? Your knees buckled under the weight of the truth you had buried for so long. You whispered it, your voice shaking. You didn't do anything wrong. I left because I was sick. He stilled. Sick? I found out 2 years ago. My health was failing. I didn't want you tied to someone who might not even have a future. I thought I was protecting you. I thought letting you go was the only way you would survive, without me dragging you into pain you didn't deserve. The silence after your confession was deafening. His eyes glistened, his hands clenched into fists. Jungkook's voice broke the stillness, raw and trembling. What kind of sickness? Why didn't you tell me? Your eyes darted away, unable to face the storm in his. Because I couldn't ruin your future with me. I'm still fighting for my life. Why do you think I'm still doing this job even though it tears me apart every day facing you, enduring your hatred? I'm bearing it all because I need the money. For a moment you thought he would explode, but instead his entire expression shifted, softened. He took a step forward, then another. In his eyes the cold CEO vanished, replaced by the boy you once loved, the Jungkook who held you under streetlights and swore the world couldn't touch you. He reached you, his voice breaking as his hands hovered near your shoulders but didn't touch yet. What illness? You look down. It's cancer, stage 2. I'm under treatment, but it's a long fight. I don't know how long it will end. Jungkook froze for a heartbeat, then pulled you into his arms so fiercely that the world outside didn't exist anymore. Your head rested against his chest and you could feel his heartbeat, strong, steady, unwavering. No, don't you dare think about what will happen without me. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You tried to protest, but his lips pressed softly against your temple, then your hair finally resting on your forehead. His hands cupped your face as he tilted your chin up, looking straight into your eyes. I don't care what this is. I don't care how hard it gets. You're not facing this alone. I promised you through everything, and I meant it. I'll be there for every treatment, every tough day, every sleepless night. I'll be a strength when yours falters. Your voice cracked as you clung to the fabric of his shirt. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for leaving you. You think it was easy for me? Every day without you felt like dying, Jungkook. But I thought you would suffer if you stayed with me. I couldn't bear the idea of dragging you into this, watching you waste away your future for someone who might. Your words dissolved into sobs before you could finish. Jungkook's hands came to your face, framing it firmly but tenderly, forcing you to look at him. His eyes blazed with hurt, but deeper than that, a fierce love. Suffer? His voice trembled. Do you think loving you is suffering? Do you think standing by you when you are fighting for your life is a burden? Ryan, I can do anything for you. I can die for you if it means you won't feel alone. That's what love is. That's what we are. You shook your head weakly, still crying. I thought I was protecting you. His thumb brushed your tears away, his forehead resting against yours. No, you were protecting me from the only thing I didn't need protection from. You. You're my heart. Even now, even after everything, you are it for me. And now, he took a deep, shuddering breath. Now I'm here, and I'm not going to let anything happen to you, not while I still breathe. His arms slid around you, holding you tight as if he could anchor you back to life itself. He kissed your forehead, then your cheeks, then finally your lips, soft, desperate, promising. We'll fight this together. No more running, no more hiding. You are mine, Ryan, and I'm yours. In his embrace, the weight of years of pain slowly melted. For the first time since you had gotten sick, you let yourself believe him, and in that moment, you weren't just two broken people, you were a promise, standing together against whatever came next.